What if you could go back in time and unintentionally prevent your parents from ever meeting? It sounds improbable, but that S at the heart of one of the greatest enigmas of time travel, the grandfather paradox. Today, you're going to dive into an interactive thought experiment that will challenge your logic, your sense of time, and maybe even your own existence. Get ready to embark on a journey where past, present, and future collide. Let's start with the basics. The grandfather paradox is simple to explain but deep in its implications. Imagine you build a time machine. For whatever reason, curiosity, anger, or pure insanity, you travel to the past with the intention of killing your grandfather before he meets your grandmother. You succeed, but now you were never born. And if you were never born, how could you have traveled back in time to kill him? If you didn't kill your grandfather, he met your grandmother, had children, and eventually you were born. But then you went back in time and killed him. This sequence creates a logically impossible loop. The paradox is formed. This goes far beyond science fiction. It's a real contradiction within the rules of logic. You exist, and Dante exists at the same time. A direct violation of the laws of causality. But let's put the theory aside for a moment. Now, imagine you are the protagonist of this story. You're back in time. It's 1950. And your grandfather is about to meet your grandmother. You know the exact place and time. You can either stop this meeting or simply watch from a distance. The choice is yours. But be warned, interfering could erase you from existence. Observing might mean that everything unfolds as it always did. The decision seems simple, but it carries cosmic consequences. Let's say you choose to act. You interfere. But then, everything starts going wrong. You trip, a door jams, your message doesn't get through in time. Everything inexplicably fails. It's as if the universe is fighting back. And maybe it is. This mysterious resistance is described by something called the Novikov Self-Consistency Principle. This theory suggests that any event that could create a paradox has a probability of 0. That's right, 0. If you try to change the past, something will inevitably stop you from succeeding. It's as if the universe is programmed to protect itself from contradictions. Imagine a weapon that works perfectly, but fails only when pointed at your grandfather, or a staircase that collapses only when you're about to prevent a crucial meeting. It all seems absurd, but it's a logical way to preserve the integrity of time. But what if there's another explanation? What if you didn't return to your past, but to the past of another universe? In that scenario, the grandfather you killed isn't your grandfather. He belongs to a parallel reality. That means your existence remains untouched. But you've created a new timeline where things will develop completely differently. This is the idea of alternate timelines. When you travel through time, you may have opened a fork in reality, a new branch. Your original universe continues to exist, but now there's another where your interference changed everything. This avoids the paradox because the grandfather you killed isn't the same one who fathered your family. This solution, although fascinating, raises new questions. If all possibilities exist, which one is real? If every decision creates a new timeline, are we losing control over what it means to be you? Now, imagine a third possibility. What if none of this matters because everything is already predetermined? What if time is like a movie that's already been filmed, with a beginning, middle, and end already defined? In this deterministic view, your actions don't have the power to change anything, not the present, the past, or the future. In this model, free will doesn't exist. You think you chose to go back in time and try to kill your grandfather, but that choice was already written. The meeting between your grandfather and grandmother was written too. Every step you take is part of a fixed, unchangeable story. This perspective may feel cold or even cruel, but it resolves the paradox simply. You never could have done anything differently. If you're alive, it's because the past wasn't altered and never could be. But that also forces us to question, are we just actors in a cosmic script? Or do we have some control over our fate? For those who find this uncomfortable, there's still another alternative. A theory that tries to balance logic and free will. Novikov's principle doesn't have to deny all possible actions. It only states that if an action would create a paradox, then that action and only that one won't occur. Everything else can happen normally. In other words, you can travel to the past, have adventures, learn from history, but you'll never be able to cause a contradiction. The story adapts, reorganizes itself, but never allows a logical error. And here's one of the scariest consequences of all this. If someone in the future invents time travel, it might affect the present. The mere possibility of paradoxes creates a kind of natural censorship. Maybe people die before completing their experiments, or worse, they never get born. It's as if the universe is constantly adjusting the pieces to ensure paradoxes never happen. And in this game, each of us is just another piece. After all of this, here asks the question. If you had the chance to go back in time, knowing all the risks, would you change something? Would you interfere, knowing it could erase you from existence? Or would you accept that time is immutable, and the past is already written? The grandfather paradox isn't just a scientific curiosity. It's a mirror that forces us to look within, to question our actions, our memories, and our own identity. Maybe time is a maze with no exit, or maybe it's an infinite spiral of possibilities. But what truly matters is that by exploring these limits, we're not just studying time, we're trying to understand ourselves. If you enjoyed this journey through time and thought, don't forget to leave a like. It helps the channel grow and reach more curious minds like yours. Drop a comment below. Would you go back in time? Would you change something? Or let everything be? And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now and hit the bell icon. Here we explore the mysteries of the universe, the mind, and reality. In our upcoming videos, we'll dive even deeper into questions that seem impossible, but maybe aren't. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, travel.